On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Colonist.
A person who lives in or is sent to establish a colony, equals a country or an area that is governed by a more powerful entity, a new country or area.
Examples:
Space colonist, American colonist. The first colonists arrived in the New World in the early 17th century.
Descend.
To move downward and lower, to come from or to be connected by a relationship of blood.
Examples:
Descend a steep hill, descend by elevator. She was descended from an old Italian noble family.
Claim.
To assert that something is true, to demand or request something as one's own, to lay legal or moral right to something. Noun, a demand or assertion of a right or something that one believes to be true.
Examples:
Claim responsibility, false claim. He wants to claim ownership of the abandoned property.
Struggle.
To make a great effort to do something when it is difficult, or there are a lot of problems, to use force or violence to break away from restraint or constriction.
Examples:
Struggle against discrimination, struggle to get the job. He could not struggle against temptation.
Aggressive.
Behaving in an angry, energetic, or threatening way towards another person, tending to spread quickly.
Examples:
An aggressive war, an aggressive tumor. An aggressive tide wrecked the ship.
Discovery.
The act or process of finding information, a place, or an object, or learning about something that was previously not known.
Examples:
A scientific discovery, the great discovery of the century. Her research team made an important discovery.
Abundant.
Present in great quantity.
Examples:
Live an abundant life, an abundant supply of water. The country has abundant oil and natural gas resources.
Ruthless.
Lacking in pity or compassion, willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals, regardless of the consequences for others.
Examples:
Show ruthless behavior, ruthless brutality. The dictator was known for his ruthless tactics and had no qualms about using violence to maintain power.
Scramble.
To move or climb quickly and awkwardly, often using your hands to help you.
Examples:
Scramble my mind, scramble for support. Local business owners scrambled to find skilled workers.
Colonial.
Of or relating to a colony, equals a territory that is controlled by a more powerful country, To the period of time during which a country or region was a colony.
Examples:
Oppressive colonial rule. Colonial style. The city has a rich colonial history, with many historic buildings and landmarks.
Violent.
Involving or caused by physical force or aggression against someone or something.
Examples:
Victim of a violent crime. Violent incident. The protesters became violent when the police tried to disperse them.
Numerous.
Amounting to a large indefinite number.
Examples:
Numerous countries. As numerous as the sand. These descriptions are based on a number of numerous assumptions.
Indigenous.
Someone or something that is native to or occurring naturally in a particular place.
Examples:
Indigenous crop. Indigenous peoples. The indigenous plants need to be pollinated by local insects.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.
Ancestral.
Related to or connected with members of your family from the past.
Examples:
An ancestral graveyard. Ancestral roots. The ancestral home has been in the family for generations.
Conflict.
A strong disagreement, argument, or a violent clash between two opposing groups or individuals.
Examples:
The conflict between good and evil. The long-standing conflict. He and I often had conflicts, not only in personality, but also in ideology.
Colonize.
To establish a colony in or on a specific place, to settle or occupy in large numbers.
Examples:
Colonize planets. Colonize for cultivation. European powers colonized much of the Americas in the 16th and 17th centuries.
Settle.
To reach an agreement of disagreement.
Examples:
Settle a dispute. Settle down in the town. I don't want to settle for second best.
Devoid.
Completely lacking or free from something.
Examples:
Devoid of life. Air devoid of pollution. The room was devoid of any furniture or decorations.
Corroborate.
To confirm or support something that has already been suggested, particularly by providing evidence or witness testimony.
Examples:
Corroborate evidence. Corroborate story. The eyewitness testimony corroborated the suspect's alibi.
Administrator.
A person or organization responsible for managing and directing the affairs of a business, institution, government agency, or other organization, someone who administers, regulates, or supervises.
Examples:
School administrator, network administrator. The university's administrator announced new policies regarding campus safety.
Prominent.
Important, well-known, or noticeable.
Examples:
Prominent figure. Play a prominent role. The media frequently interviewed prominent scientists.
Historic.
Famous or significant in history, or potentially so.
Examples:
Historic accomplishment. Achieve the historic feat. The Chinese people have accomplished several historic feats.
Narrative.
A story or a description of a series of events or process of telling a story.
Examples:
Narrative poetry. Personal narrative. The narrative handles multiple plot lines and has unpredictable ends.
Argument.
A set of statements or reasons used to support or refute a proposition or theory, a verbal or physical fight or dispute.
Examples:
A blazing argument. The argument against capital punishment. The argument between the two sides over the proposed policy was heated.
Agriculture.
The practice or science of cultivating the land or raising stock.
Examples:
Organic agriculture. Intensive agriculture. Agriculture is the foundation of our economy.
Infrastructure.
The basic systems, services, or features that are necessary for an organization or country, such as transport and power supplies.
Examples:
IT infrastructure. Infrastructure cost. Aging societies tend to require huge costs for infrastructure maintenance.
Displace.
To force someone or something to leave their home or place of origin, especially as a result of conflict, natural disaster, or manipulation.
Examples:
Displace workers. Displace the explosive power. The construction of the new dam will displace hundreds of families living downstream.
Settler.
A person who moved with a group of others to live in a different country or area.
Examples:
New settlers. Settlers on some foreign shore. A large proportion of railway workers in settler colonies were white.
Millennium.
A span of 1,000 years, or the 1,000th anniversary, plural, millennia.
Examples:
past millennium, millennium bottle of wine. Our world is in the third millennium.
Belong.
To be the property of someone or something, to be a member or part of a group, to be in the proper or appropriate place.
Examples:
belong to different species, belong to a group. All the books in this section belong to the library's rare collection and must be handled carefully.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples:
a private individual, individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Distribute.
To give something to a large number of individuals, or to spread or furnish something.
Examples:
distribute wealth evenly. Distribute video content. His estate was distributed to his sons.
Nomadic.
Moving from one location to another rather than staying in one place all of the time.
Examples:
nomadic life, nomadic herdsman. This desert is the territory of nomadic tribes.
Graze.
To feed on grass or other vegetation, especially by nibbling at it repeatedly, to break the skin of a body part by scraping.
Examples:
turn cattle out to graze. Graze the left shoulder. The sheep graze on the green grass in the meadow.
Cattle.
Cows, bulls, and buffaloes that are raised for their milk or meat as farm animals.
Examples:
cattle barn, cattle hide. The cattle are on the grassland and grazing.
Vegetation.
Plants in general, particularly those indigenous to a particular region or spot.
Examples:
tropical vegetation, dense vegetation. The vegetation in the area is quite diverse.
Settlement.
An official agreement that brings an argument to a close, the process of establishing permanent residence in a place.
Examples:
the settlement of a dispute. Settlement in a new house. Our goal must be to achieve a peaceful settlement.
Property.
A thing or things that belong to someone.
Examples:
a man of property. Chemical property. He stood to inherit $1 million property.
Colon.
The punctuation mark, used to introduce a list, summary, explanation, etc., or before reporting what someone has said, a significant part of the large intestine, the final section of the digestive system.
Examples:
colon examination. The colon at the end of the sentence. Consumption of vegetables may aid in the prevention of colon cancer.
Conclude.
To come to an end or close, to reach a judgment or opinion by reasoning.
Examples:
Conclude a meeting. Conclude that he is healthy. We concluded a ceasefire.
Divide.
To separate or cause to separate into parts or groups.
Examples:
Divide the cake into 2 pieces. Divide money equally. Can you divide 123,321 by 11?
Context.
The circumstances, facts, or conditions that surround a particular event, situation, or statement and that give it meaning.
Examples:
Historical context. Legal context. It's important to understand the context of a situation before making a decision.
Ignorant.
Lacking knowledge or awareness in general, uneducated or unsophisticated, unaware of certain facts or information.
Examples:
Ignorant remark. Blissfully ignorant. He was ignorant of the fact that the meeting had been moved to a different location.
Oversimplify.
To describe or explain something in a way that is too simple and no longer holds true.
Examples:
Oversimplify the problem. Oversimplify a complex reality. People may oversimplify natural phenomena due to the improved accessibility of knowledge.
Complexity.
The state or quality of being complicated or intricate and difficult to understand.
Examples:
Cognitive complexity. Complexity theory. The project's complexity made it difficult for the team to complete it on time.
Academic.
Associated with schools, colleges, and universities, especially studying and thinking, not with practical skills.
Examples:
Academic probation. An academic discussion. An excellent historian must possess an academic mentality.
Rewrite.
To write something such as a book or speech again in a different way, usually to improve it or add new information.
Examples:
Rewrite a composition. Rewrite a world record. I need to rewrite most of the essay with feedback from my teacher.
Minimize.
To make something, especially something bad, small or less serious.
Examples:
Minimize a loss. Way to minimize conflict. I bought a gadget before my trip to help minimize stress during the flight.
Native.
Connecting with or describing someone's birth country or place of birth, or someone born in a specific country or place.
Examples:
Native to Africa. Native language. The vegetation here is almost wholly native.
Parliament.
A legislative body, especially the one that represents the people of a country or state.
Examples:
Disband parliament. Event of a hung parliament. He was a member of parliament.
Cape.
A type of long, loose outer garment that covers the back, shoulders, and arms, a headland or promontory extending into the sea or other large body of water.
Examples:
Cape Cod. Red cape. The superhero wore a flowing cape as part of their costume.
Exploitation.
The process of making some area of land or water more profitable or productive or useful.
Examples:
Sexual exploitation. The exploitation of fossil resources. Strategic exploitation of cutting-edge technology would be a sure formula for success.
Decree.
An official order that has the force of law.
Examples:
Order by decree. Divorce decree. The dictator issued a decree limiting the freedom of the press.
Functional.
Designed for or capable of a particular activity, purpose, or task, practical or ready for use or service.
Examples:
Field of functional medicine. Functional deafness. The mobile phone was still functional even after being dropped.
Tribal.
Relating to a social group or tribe, especially a preliterate society.
Examples:
Tribal culture. Tribal community. The tribal leaders gathered for a summit to discuss important issues.
Landless.
Lacking ownership or possession of land or property, without a fixed or permanent home or residence.
Examples:
Landless peasants. Landless laborer. Many landless farmers struggle to make ends meet.
Theft.
The act of taking anything from someone or somewhere unlawfully, stealing.
Examples:
Victim of identity theft. Theft of designs. Poverty is not a reproach, however, theft is.
Barb.
A sharp projection or point, often on a plant or animal, a cutting remark or criticism that is meant to hurt or insult, a type of fishing lure that has small hooks and a brightly colored feather or hair.
Examples:
Barb wire. Aim a barb. The politician's words were full of barbs designed to hurt his opponent.
Strategy.
A detailed plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall goal.
Examples:
Military strategy. Develop a strategy. Our plan includes a comprehensive marketing strategy.
Strip.
To remove the surface from something. Noun, a sizable narrow piece of something such as paper, metal, cloth, etc., or area of land, sea, etc.
Examples:
strip a tire off, coast strip. The doctor advised him to strip down for a check.
Cast.
To cause light or shadow to appear on a surface, to assign or choose someone such as an actor or representative, especially by selection process.
Examples:
cast a ballot, cast a charming eye. This accident cast a dark shadow over their lives.
Employ.
To give somebody a job and pay them for it, to make use of.
Examples:
employ job seekers, employ a new method. When making arrests, police officers frequently employ excessive force.
Myth.
An ancient story or set of stories accepted as history, especially explaining the worldview of a people.
Examples:
the myth of an old religion, perpetuate a myth. With the financial bubble bursting, the myth of economic growth in investment banking collapsed.
Well-established.
Firmly established and widely recognized, having a long history of success or acceptance in a particular field or industry.
Examples:
well-established company, well-established tradition. The restaurant is well established in the community, having been open for over 50 years.
Technique.
A particular way or art of doing something that needs skill.
Examples:
a technique in martial arts. The technique applied to construction. Jockey's superior technique brought him victory.
Playbook.
A set of strategies or tactics used in a particular situation, often in a business or political context. A guidebook or manual that outlines a specific plan of action.
Examples:
playbook strategy, political playbook. The coach's playbook helped the team win the championship.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples:
statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Influence.
The ability to affect someone's or something's character, growth, or behavior, or the effect itself.
Examples:
influence a child's future. Influence the daily life. The former emperor had a particular influence even after he abdicated.
Trace.
To find or discover someone or something that was lost.
Examples:
trace a telephone call. Trace back to medieval times. Let's trace the origins of some familiar foreign words.
Brutal.
Harsh or cruel.
Examples:
Brutal bully. Brutal honesty. The brutal attack left the victim with serious injuries.
Institute.
An organization that has a specific purpose, particularly one dealing with science, education, or a particular profession. Verb, to initiate, introduce, or establish something.
Examples:
Institute a lawsuit. Research institutes. This region has many institutes offering higher education.
Racism.
Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people based on their membership in a particular ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized.
Examples:
Systemic racism. Research on anti-racism. The school's lack of diversity was a clear indication of the racism present in the community.
Self-sufficient.
Able to provide for one's own needs without assistance from others.
Examples:
Self-sufficient economy. Self-sufficient renewable energy. He was determined to become self-sufficient and not rely on anyone else.
Migrant.
A traveler who moves from one region or country to another, especially to find work or better living conditions. A bird or an animal that moves from one place to another.
Examples:
Migrant worker. The movement of migrant birds. The government revoked his license to employ migrant labor crews.
Laborer.
A person who works with their hands, especially manual work in manual trades and industries.
Examples:
An unskilled laborer. Laborers' union. The seasonal laborer worked hard to build the bridge.
Forbid.
To order somebody not to do something, especially officially, to keep something from happening or arising.
Examples:
Forbid smoking in public areas. Forbid the use of chemical weapons. God forbid you should regret your marriage.
Racial.
Of or related to the race, equals classification of humans into groups based on physical traits or social relations.
Examples:
Racial prejudice. Racial and ethnic backgrounds. A minor racial conflict later led to a civil war.
Segregate.
To separate or set apart from others, often based on race, gender, or some other characteristic.
Examples:
Segregate by race. Segregate boys and girls. The school board decided to segregate students by the ability to meet their needs better.
Racist.
Characterized by or showing discrimination or prejudice against people of other races. Noun, a person with a prejudiced belief that one racial group is superior to others.
Examples:
Far-right racist. Racist attitudes. The racist comments made by the politician caused widespread condemnation.
Policy.
A set of rules, guidelines, principles, or procedures that govern decision-making or action, often used in the context of business or government. A course of action or plan of action adopted or followed by an organization or individual to achieve a goal or objective.
Examples:
Health policy. Foreign policy. The company's new policy on remote work has made it a more inclusive workplace.
Intensify.
To increase or make something increase in extent or strength.
Examples:
Intensify diplomatic efforts. Intensify a good relationship. Rebels have pledged to intensify the armed struggle against the dictatorship.
Mandate.
An official or authoritative instruction or command, a commission or authority to carry out a particular task.
Examples:
Mandate obligation. An imperial mandate. The mandate given to the new government is to improve the economy.
Separate.
To force, take, or pull apart, mark as different.
Examples:
Separate video into chapter. Separate cream from milk. We need to separate the aspect of his personality from the part of his competence when making an investment decision.
Urban.
Relating to or located in a town or city.
Examples:
Urban planning. Urban property owners. Only a small number of urban utilities offer sanitation services.
Restrict.
To limit someone's actions or movements, or to limit something to lessen its size or prevent it from increasing.
Examples:
Restrict an internet access. Restrict the use of this parking lot. We restrict the number of students per course to 20.
Eventually.
Finally, particularly after a long time or a lot of struggle, complications, and so on.
Examples:
Eventually become obsolete. Eventually succeed. The corporation eventually dominated the entire tobacco business.
Apartheid.
A system of racial segregation and discrimination that was enforced in South Africa from 1948 to 1994. Any similar system of discrimination or segregation based on race, ethnicity, or other factors.
Examples:
Apartheid system. Apartheid policies. The South African government enforced apartheid laws that segregated people based on race.
Overhaul.
A thorough examination, evaluation, or inspection of something, often with the intent of making necessary improvements, a major reorganization or restructuring of a system or process. Verb, to thoroughly examine, repair, and improve something to ensure that it is functioning properly and up to standard.
Examples:
Overhaul process. Vehicle overhaul. The mechanic suggested an overhaul of the engine to improve performance.
Emphasize.
To give or show particular importance to something.
Examples:
Emphasize her words. Emphasize a direct relationship. Use italics or capitals to emphasize a word in a piece of writing.
Subservience.
The state of being subordinate or obedient to someone or something else. The quality of being excessively submissive or deferential.
Examples:
Subservience to authority. Blind subservience. The country's subservience to foreign power was a major cause of unrest among its citizens.
Enforce.
To make sure that people obey a particular law, rule, or situation.
Examples:
Enforce the law. Enforce a contract. Governments make rules, and police enforce them.
Persist.
To continue to do and refuse to stop something despite difficulties or opposition, even if it appears unreasonable.
Examples:
Persist over time. Persist in success. Consult your doctor if the symptoms persist.
Frequent.
Happening constantly.
Examples:
Frequent absence. Frequent use. His heartaches are less frequent now.
Invoke.
To call upon or request help or support, especially from a higher power. To mention or use something as a reason or justification for actions or decisions.
Examples:
Invoke memories. Invoke the right to remain silent. The politician invoked the name of the founding fathers in his speech.
Unequal.
Different in amount, size, degree, or value, not fair.
Examples:
Unequal distribution. Unequal opportunity. The income inequality in the country is becoming increasingly unequal.
Resistance.
The act of defending oneself from an aggressor or refusing to accept something.
Examples:
Resistance movement. Resistance to insulin. The bill to increase the consumption tax had passed despite much resistance from the public.
Movement.
A group of people working together to achieve a shared goal, especially a political, social, or artistic one, the process of moving or being moved, physically or figuratively.
Examples:
A circular movement. Movement of troops. The movement of the dancers on stage was graceful and elegant.
Economy.
The system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
Economy of scale. Economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Scholar.
Professor, a person who studies a topic in considerable depth, particularly in a university.
Examples:
Scholar in international politics. Noted scholar. You won't have to pay college tuition if you're a scholar.
Archaeology.
The branch of anthropology that studies prehistoric people and their cultures.
Examples:
The Institute of Archaeology. Prehistoric archaeology. She teaches archaeology at the local university.